Every single industry, no matter how specific, has that one annoying little problem that everyone just kind of lives with. Well, today, we're going to look at how one company decided not to live with it. And they didn't use a single silver bullet, but this brilliant tale of two websites. Let's dive in and see how they pulled it off. Okay, so put yourself in this situation. You're a mechanic, or maybe you manage a factory, or you trade parts for a living. You need one very specific component, a little thing called a carbon brush, for a machine that's absolutely critical. But you're looking at thousands of options online, and every minute that machine is down, you're losing money. So how do you find the exact part you need right this second? That's the challenge, and it's right at the heart of our story today. So let's get into the weeds a bit. We are talking about the world of carbon brushes. And yeah, they're these small but super important components for, well, pretty much everything, from power tools to massive industrial motors. You'd think finding one would be simple, right? But as you're about to see, it's actually surprisingly complicated. Now, this is what I find so fascinating. It's not just one problem. It's a different problem for everyone involved. For a local repair shop, it's all about identifying the right size for a customer's power drill. For a wholesaler, it's about getting their hands on thousands of reliable units. Traders, on the other hand, they need to connect with manufacturers they can actually trust. And then you have the big industrial buyers who need parts that meet these super strict, precise specifications. See? Same part, totally different headache for each person. So how in the world do you solve a problem that has so many different faces? Well, the genius move here was realizing that you don't solve it with some huge, one-size-fits-all website. No, the real solution was to divide and conquer. They created two completely separate, highly targeted platforms. And this slide just lays out the strategy perfectly. On one side, you've got GrandCarbon.in, which is the big, official corporate gateway. It's built for the heavy hitters, the wholesalers, the global buyers, the people who need to see quality, certifications, and want to build a real business relationship. Then, on the other side, you have GrandCarbon.com, a straight-up direct-to-consumer store. Its only goal? Speed and simplicity for the repair techs and traders who just need to buy a part right now and get on with their day. All right, let's dig into that first website, GrandCarbon.in, the B2B corporate gateway. Think of this site as the company's digital handshake. It's designed to build serious, professional trust from the very first click. And what's the first thing a potential business partner sees? This number. Over 27 years of manufacturing experience. In an industry like this, that kind of history speaks volumes. It's an instant signal that says, we're stable, we know what we're doing, and we're reliable. So the whole point of this site isn't really about selling one part. It's about selling confidence. You see that ISO certification, and you immediately know there are high standards in place. You see they deliver to over 30 countries, and you know they can handle complex logistics for huge orders. It's all about proactively answering the big questions a professional buyer is going to have. And of course, nothing builds trust quite like social proof from a real customer. This quote is so powerful because it's not just a generic 5-star review. It points to a specific business result: reduced our motor maintenance costs. For another industrial buyer reading that, that's like gold. It's the most compelling recommendation you could ask for. Okay, so that's how they win over the big buyers. But what about the mechanic who just needs one part and needs it fast? For that person, we have to jump over to the other side of the strategy, the direct-to-consumer store, GrandCarbon.com. This platform has a totally different mission. And the user experience here is all about speed and getting things done. Step 1, find what you need from this massive catalog of over 5,000 products. Step 2, see a great deal on it. Step 3, buy it instantly. There are no lengthy quotes, no sales calls. This is for the technician who's got a tool sitting on their bench and just needs the part, like yesterday. And right here, this is where the value becomes impossible to ignore. I mean, look at those discounts. For a small repair shop that's buying parts all the time, savings like these on common items for Bosch or Hero Tools, that really adds up. It's a direct, tangible reason to come back to this site again and again. And then, to seal the deal, they offer this simple, powerful promise: a 3-day easy return policy. This completely removes the risk of buying the wrong part online, which, let's be honest, is a huge worry for individual buyers and small shops. It just makes clicking that buy button so much easier. So let's zoom out and look at the big picture for a second. What actually happens when you put these two very different websites together?
Well, you create this incredibly powerful system that connects an entire industry online. And this is the key takeaway, really. It's not just about having two websites, it's about creating a central digital platform. It's an entire ecosystem where everyone, from the manager of a giant factory to the technician fixing a home appliance, can connect directly with the source and find exactly what they're looking for.
And the ultimate result is just beautifully simple. By taking the time to understand the very different needs of their different customers and then building a specific solution for each of them, this strategy made finding the right product way easier for absolutely everyone involved. It solved that annoying search problem we started with. This case study is just such a fantastic reminder of how powerful it is to design for your audience first. And it leaves us with a really critical question to think about for our own businesses. Have you really identified the different problems your customers are trying to solve? And more importantly, are you guiding them to the right solution, or are you just forcing everyone through the exact same front door?